Ladies and gentlemen, a vice president does not have the same authority to declassify documents as a sitting president. This is a fact. If you want to bring up President Obama's executive order years back allowing the vice president to declassify documents, the vice president has to be the person to classify the document initially. Only then can he or she declassify a classified record as vice president. The president, as commander-in-chief, with the authority to declassify anything from the Federal Bureau of Investigation to Central Intelligence, any government agency, has a blanket, all-encompassing, sweeping presidential authority. He can do that. And the Supreme Court has ruled that he can do this. Now, I think that what's taking place with Joe Biden and classified documents is not a coincidence. It's not the attorneys that notified the DOJ and 3 different locations now, definitely two. I believe today was the 3rd different location where classified records were found. This is a nightmare for a number of reasons. It not only shows that Democrats and people defending Biden were hypocrites, and the president himself is a hypocrite. It shows that there are Democrats who have had enough or want to replace Biden with Kamala Harris or want him to resign eventually because there is the possibility of criminal charges or resigning before criminal charges. You might say, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Democrats would never turn on their own. Yeah, up until recently. Within 4 or 5 days, there was classified documents in his garage next to a Corvette, in his office, then in another location. He didn't know about it, and it emanated from his attorneys contacting the DOJ. Why on earth would his attorneys contact the DOJ when you had attorneys setting up and framing Trump? You had attorneys doing everything possible and political advisors within the Democratic Party, Democratic officials working with government agencies and Twitter to suspend the New York Post, to suspend their true reporting on possible graft and potential bribery schemes within his emails, within Hunter's laptop, where Joe was implicated in 150 problematic financial transactions investigated by those financial institutions, where you have $1 billion deal in one of our geopolitical adversaries, and so hundreds of millions of dollars flowing into businesses, Hunter gaining millions of dollars from very bizarre individuals throughout the planet, that Democrats were supposed to be, either defending or opposing. And you have then, of course, an invasion in Europe under Biden's watch, but we're heading into a recession. And we have a terrible geopolitical nightmare brewing, not only in Europe, but also with Taiwan and China. And so you have to ask yourself, well, what's going on here? What is going on here? How do you get an entire machine defending and propping up and just, catering to Biden every day, and then suddenly it unravels within a week? That's somebody within the Democratic Party. Could be, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? Or you mean like with the cloth? Or the other wonderful quotes from Madam Secretary. Could be that they're paving the way for Clinton 2024. This is not a coincidence. If you think this is all a coincidence, you're very likely gullible or naive. The only reason, because those attorneys didn't have to go to the DOJ. They could have informed the president. Nobody could have found out about it. And considering the fact that they protected even sources that lied to the Federal Bureau of Investigation during the Durham probe and purchased a dossier to implicate Trump that was completely full of lies, and all of these things they did that were surreptitious and deceitful, to think that they would just find a these classified records, and they were doing so because they're just following the letter of the law, that's not possible in my view. So there's a political component here. They want him to resign or to give the presidency to Kamala Harris. They either want, and they want a new nominee in 24. I think that would be Hillary Clinton. But hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time on this channel. I have a very important segment tomorrow on this very topic. I think that there are Democrats, the special counsel alone, we'll talk about that, and that's bizarre. So a special counsel within a week formed against Biden, you don't even need, I'm telling you right now, you don't need a special counsel. They don't need a special counsel for Biden. And I am voting Trump in 24, voted for him 2 years ago, and I'm telling you, and I want Trump as great president in terms of foreign policy, much better than what we have now. And a great president in terms of economic policy, much better than what we have now. And if you watch this channel, you know why I think Trump's performance as president. I'm not talking about the media hysteria or perhaps his rhetoric that they make such a. I'd rather have Trump's rhetoric than what we have now in terms of inflation and an invasion in Europe right now, which all took place under Biden. But every day at 8 and 11 a.m., be here forever on this channel. It's very important, to know that for a content creator to have people at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. in the morning expecting videos, it does help the channel tremendously, and it helps the algorithm, and it helps everything. So to my viewers who always check the channel at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., God bless you. I can't thank you enough. You are so awesome. God bless you no matter who you are, Democrat, Republican, Socialist, Communist, Trump Republican, Conservative, whatever, Libertarian, it doesn't matter. God bless you. Have a great 2023. I'm trying to give some more love this year and just have a wonderful, beautiful, joyous, successful, prosperous 2023 and beyond. I wish you only the best, and I thank you for watching. I don't care if you think I'm nuts. Hit subscribe also to H.A. Goodman's other channel. Become a Patreon. To my Patreons, I thank you so much. Also, I can't do this without the super thanks to Patreon, you sharing these segments. So your Patreon support is greatly appreciated, especially I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people, so I do appreciate your support. And go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. They want him out, and it's not Republicans. It's not Trump. I'm telling you right now, there's no reason for a special counsel. They say, well, it has to be impartial. It's like, there should have been a special counsel for Hunter. There should have been they should have allowed the New York Post. So you mean to tell me that with the Twitter files we find out all of this nefarious activity where government agencies are breaking the First Amendment laws? They literally just tore apart the First Amendment. The rebuttal that, it's just that's just protocol. It's like, no, it's not protocol. The government got involved to silence speech. End of story. That's the First Amendment. And they did so pretty blatantly. They were telling people, hey, suspend this account, suspend that account, suspend this. And 250,000 conservative accounts were suspended. And so you don't need a special counsel. And I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, you don't need a special counsel to investigate Biden. What Biden did is not nearly as bad as what Clinton did with servers. Okay, it's worse than what Trump was alleged to have done. He was a former president. And the Presidential Records Act has no enforcement mechanism. And Mar-a-Lago, the Mar-a-Lago lock was given to Trump by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and a thank you note. All they wanted was for him to lock. It was a secured location. They knew exactly where the records were. The issue is, why were these records out? Okay, the president leaving the Oval Office had the right to take some classified data, because we know that Bill Clinton, a judge allowed Bill Clinton to take classified data and put it in his sock drawer next to his underwear. So there is precedent for all of this with Trump. You might say, it's not right, but it's not criminal. He's a former president with the power to verbally declassify anything, according to Politico. Not so with Biden. And also, Biden didn't even know that classified data was floating around, and we don't know why, who removed it. And furthermore, we have Hunter there with an active criminal investigation and a walking national security risk. Hunter will probably get a plea deal or indicted soon, and there will probably be calls for Kamala Harris to take over for Biden soon. I would say they go into 24 with Kamala Harris. It's much better for the Democratic Party than mashed potato brains with classified data and Hunter's laptop. And then they can say, look, you know what? We want Hillary Clinton. She deserves it. The Kremlin stole it from her. And with Fetterman winning, anything's possible. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here tomorrow at 8 a.m.